If you're searching for peace amongst the greenery, welcome to Gab Loves Plants Sydney.
It is the 3rd of January 2026. Happy New Year to everyone. But the 3rd of January means that I have now been in my new apartment for 2 months. And I finally unpacked the last of the boxes this morning. And I am slowly getting things organized. It's taken quite a while. For those of you who don't know, I had to move out of my last apartment where I had been living for 10 years. Where I had been living for 10 years because they decided to sell it. And I had to move in a hurry because they said that I had to be out by the 7th of January. So with Christmas and everything, I wanted to get something fast. Luckily, I found this place, which is actually great. I love it. But because I didn't have the normal amount of time that people have when they're thinking about moving to go through all of their stuff and get rid of all their junk and, sort things out, I brought all of the junk and the rubbish with me. And so it has been a mammoth task just getting things unpacked with Christmas and my birthday in the middle of the 2 months. But it feels good to have the last box unpacked and at least emptied. There are still piles around the place. But one thing that I need to do, which I thought I would do in this video, is do something about the balcony. So this apartment is great. It has balconies on 3 sides. And you can see a little bit of the balcony out here. This is the biggest part of the balcony. And it gets full afternoon sun. I get morning sun on the balcony that's opposite this one, obviously, and then the side balcony, which faces south, it gets a little bit of morning sun, and it's now getting afternoon sun because it's the 3rd of January and we are in the middle of summer here. So the sun is at a particularly hot point. And all of my plants from my last apartment were tropical rainforest shade-loving plants because that apartment basically got no sun at all on either of the 2 balconies that I had because it faced south. Tommy, are you going to make an appearance? Little Thomas is just having a sleep. So yeah, the old apartment, I had lots of aroids, and unfortunately, I moved them all out. I took a week to move, and I moved them all out and put them all out on this balcony, and the sun destroyed them. So I've cut most of them down. They got burnt, but plants will recover. So my task at the moment is to try and come up with some sort of shading for the balcony. Let me just move the camera a little bit, and I can show you the balcony and what it looks like. So let me go out here into the bright sun, and you can see how bright it is. You should still be able to hear me because I have my microphone on, so hopefully you can. So this is the balcony. It's extremely bright, and it comes in, and actually, even though I've got this wall here, the sun is actually right overhead at almost probably a little bit about an hour ago, and so it burns down no matter what I do onto the plants. And I'll get the camera and I'll bring you out here soon, and I'll show you what I mean. But what I intend to do is to put up some screening across there, and I've bought a trellis, and I'm going to put the trellis up, and then I'm going to thread some vines through it. Eventually I will thread real vines through it, but just to start, I'm probably going to get some artificial vines and put those through because they will provide a little bit of a break to the sun, which hopefully will protect the plants underneath so they can then regrow up. and eventually they will take over being real vines. But that's the only thing I can do, I think, besides buying plants that love sun, and that is something that I will do. But let me bring you out, and I will show you what the balcony consists of at the moment and what I'm planning to do. So just take this off here. All right, so these are the plants that are living here at the moment and that have all been burnt, and most of them have been cut down. So the moss poles were a lot taller before, but now they are cut down and ready to regrow. Hoping that eventually they will get used to, a little bit to the sun, so it won't be quite so bad having the sun destroy them, and they can live happily. But the shading will definitely help a little bit. Some things are growing well, as you can see. There's peperomia there. So that's growing quite well. And then we have things that grow reasonably well until they get to the sun, like this Adansonii here, which that bit was popped up and that is completely charred. That's what the sun can do in one day. Just me being out here now, I can feel the sun burning into my skin, so I can't stay out here for very long. But that is the area that we are going to fix. So I will splice this together with other things. What on earth is that? I think that's just a bit of dirt there. Can you see that? Look at that. Looks like some sort of a mutant mushroom or something's growing up there. Anyway, okay, another thing I'm going to do is I've only got 2 plants left on the old moss poles that I had. This is my fantasy, Syngonium fantasy, and then I've got a Brazil, Philodendron Brazil, but these are the only 2 on the old style of moss poles that I used to have. Now I have the ones that are plastic backed, which look like that. And they hold in a little bit more moisture than these ones do. You can hear that. It's crispy, crunchy. And so we will be taking those off those moss poles and fixing them up eventually. If you feel this water that I've got here is quite warm, being in the sun, it's amazing how warm it gets. However, and another problem I have here is that because the sun goes lower, it creeps into the house. So my Monstera albos, which have been looking very good, also got burnt. So I have to make sure that I shut the blinds every day when the sun starts to creep through like it is now. But these are my gorgeous cuttings from my beautiful Monstera. And there is the mama plant. Oh no, that's the top cutting there. There's my little Thomas down there sleeping away. Hello, Thomas. I love you. He likes to hide, this one. My other cat, who unfortunately is no longer with us, he liked to be up high, but Thomas likes caves and sleeping under things. So I've tried to put beds and things for him. He doesn't want a bed. He likes just to stretch out on the carpet, which is fine. But this was part of my big Monstera, which I have just rooting in some water. If you have a look at there, rooting very nicely. And I can replant that, but that was one of the casualties from being outside. And there is another big portion of the Monstera as well. And then if we turn you around here, because I don't really want to show you the inside of the house because it's a bit of a mess, but turn around here and you can see that the sun also is creeping in here. And this is what it did to my fiddle leaf fig. which is huge. As you can see, it's almost reaching the ceiling. So this is my great big beautiful fiddle leaf, but it got burnt as well because it was outside for a week. The leaves haven't fallen off, but they have been damaged, and they'll never come back as they were, but new life is popping up amazingly. They're sprouting from the sides, which they were not doing before. So these are all new growths, new nodes have activated all the way along the stem, probably because they thought these were going to all fall off, possibly. I will have to chop this in a while, and I'll make some propagations of it, and that will look very pretty. But at the moment, that is the fiddle leaf, and she's doing much better being up there. But you can see here the sun is creeping through onto my alocasia. This is my black velvet alocasia, which I don't know if you can see, that it's actually looking kind of iridescent. Probably can't see it as much on camera, but that is a bit of sun damage happening there. So I will need to shut the blinds, which I will do in a minute.